Welcome once again to the Lake House Wellness in a Pandemic series. It's a new month. We're excited to have Grace with us again. You're welcome, Grace.
Thank you.
And today's topic is about relationships with ourselves. And Grace is here to tell us what that is all about. Relationships with ourselves, people tend to talk about self-care, and most people quickly go to think about aesthetics, a certain passive lifestyle. People tend to go to skincare products. Maybe try and tell us what self-care or relationships with ourselves is all about.
I'm going to use the example of a good relationship or a healthy relationship, and then a bad relationship when things have gone south. So the good relationship, you ideally love the person. When they speak, you listen, and they also hear you, and you have fun together. And when you have an issue, you can rely on this person. Basically, this is a person you would easily present to the world to be your person. Okay, to associate with them, and then when it goes south, you don't pick their calls, you don't want to respond to their messages, you don't want to be seen with them. Ideally, they're not fun anymore, and then you cannot tell them the things that are about you that are personal. So the relationship with yourself, most of the people cannot establish relationships with other people. They can't nurture them simply because the relationship that is most important, the one with self, is not in existence. So the relationship with yourself is such that, number one, you matter. You matter, and everything else about you. If you have flaws, they are not the things that limit you. They are the things that define you instead. They define you, and then they are stepping stones to you being better. You don't hide behind your inefficiencies, meaning you're confident in the person that you are. And then how do you develop this relationship with self? You have to look in the mirror and wonder if someone says, I am their friend, what do they like about me? And why do they like that thing? Okay? And then can you keep up that thing? Do you like that thing about yourself? Or it's a thing other people see it, but it's... So relationship with self is basically, number one, you identifying the things that are good about you, and then appreciating self. Then the things that are bad, or the flaws, you not being limited by those inefficiencies, but trying to make them better. Trying to make them part of your story and not hiding them. Normally when people are talking about themselves and their stories, that where they've come from and where they are going, where they are now, they erase. They leave out the negative. Yeah. But those negative things are things that we learned from. They are things that shaped us, and they are things that are part of the big part of the story. If anything, they are the most important because they shaped you. Relationship with self, it starts with you knowing your strengths, the things that are good, and then you making peace with the things that are bad, and then trying to make them better. Yes.
So you've explained that it's more about understanding and accepting who we are, and I think avoiding self-condemnation. So I think we want you to also explain. So when we are aware of that, we're aware of our relationship with ourselves. We're aware of the things that who we are. Then how do we stand out in this world, with esteem, with confidence, with relationship with other people?
You see, when you like yourself, other people will like you. But we have to be careful. Do they like the real you? Or are you presenting a certain picture that when you are alone, or not, so
it can be a false.
It can be a false representation of self. Yeah. So how do you stand out and with this still pushing the relationship itself, how do you stand out? Also, I don't know, make relationships with other people. With your question.
Okay. So now that we are aware of ourselves, we're confident. We're confident with who we are. How do we make sure that who we are maybe is not wrecked, or the foundation is not destabilized because you have people sort of sure about themselves, but then when someone comments about them or says something to them, they quickly fall down and mentally they're just disturbed, distorted by just one word being said to them. Yeah.
I think when you say, how do we keep the foundation? I think number one, there has to be a foundation. Very many people don't have the foundation. Because if tomorrow you said, or you maybe I'm in the mental health space and someone said, oh, you don't know what you're doing, it won't shake me, because chances are I don't know everything about mental health, but I'm an authority in this field. I know a bit, but I'm still learning other things. So that won't shake me. Why? I have done my bit about studying, I've experienced other people's, I've lived life through other people's experiences, so I know a bit. So that comment would ideally mean I still have work to do, but it does not make me feel like, oh, like I'm not enough, I'm not good for. So now that's the foundation. There has to be a foundation. They can't wreck something that is not there. So meaning you have to know, number one, you have to know what you want. Okay? And this what you want cannot be defined by other people. Then you have to know who you are. And this still can't be defined by other people. Because every other person will see you in a different light and they have a different opinion of you. However, the consistent denominator should be you, what you think about yourself. Yeah? What you think about yourself, what you know you want, what you know you stand for, that can't be shaken. That's the foundation. Every other person can have their opinion and they have a right to their opinion. It could have been a Wednesday, you could have been moody and they say you're indifferent. That's their opinion. But is this your personality? Is this the whole you? No. So the foundation has to come from you, who you think you are, and then what you want. No one can shake that. Other people can have different images of you, different opinions. They have a right to that, but you stand firm on the person you believe you are and then what you want.
That's interesting, because people may think this only applies to companies having values, but I think it's also important to have your values, your boundaries. This is what I do, this is what I can't do. I think also that contributes to knowing who you are.
I think that it does too, because even the organization, there is someone who had a vision. Someone who started the organization had a vision where the kind of organization they wanted, and then their main product or services that they wanted to sell, and then maybe organizational culture, the kind of people they wanted to employ. They started a vision. But this vision is, at the base of this vision were the core values of an individual. So after that, when this organization is formed, the structure, still, you'll find that if this person's, the most important things to them are integrity, it will be embedded in the organizational values or structure or culture or yes. So it's very important for an individual to also have values, because then they will help you even nurture the relationship with yourself. For instance, there are places I don't go simply because I don't like them. And it's not about any other person. I don't like the environment, I don't like the crowd, I don't like the service. And so I made a personal decision that for my comfort, for my experience, for my good time, I will stay away from this business, I'll stay away from that place. Okay? And maybe speaking into values, then for me, what's important to me is comfort. Yes, very many people will wear heels, they look beautiful. I like comfort. So if the heel is going to make me walk funny, and I have to be putting it right the whole time, I'll stick to the points. Yeah? Yes. So even an individual, it's very important to have your own core values. But those are things that are important to you. Don't look at Yvonne's values and say, oh, Yvonne values integrity, yet you don't even know what integrity means. Find things that are important to you. Those are your values.
So what you're telling us is if we're aware about our relationship with ourselves, we're comfortable where we are, there is a correlation with our health, our creativity, our mental stability. One more question I'd like to ask is there are people that struggle with identifying this, of understanding who we are. That's why you see people, people say a person is mental, they don't know who they are or something like that. People just throw those words around. But how can someone be guided on how to find themselves, or and be comfortable with that, not grace to determine this because I've gone through a session, maybe this is what you should be. Yeah, so how does someone get into that journey of finding, because some people don't have direction. Some people you've had go to campus, they're doing masters, but they don't even know what they want to specialize in. Yeah,
I think it comes down to number one, time. There's a quote that give yourself time that you so freely give to others. Imagine this. Imagine someone calls you and says, I need money I had to pay for something, but I'm short on cash. And so you send them the 100,000 that they needed. But imagine that you also don't have sugar. And you're supposed to, buy certain things in your house. You have no soap, but you've given this person the 100,000. It has a lot to say about the person that you are. Other people might say you're selfless, yes, but then another person, from my mental health side, I will say that you're not taking care of self, and that maybe feeds into how you feel about yourself. Because we are not saying you should be selfish. No, we are saying that if your friend needs 100K to pay for something, but you need soap and sugar, the basic needs, and you don't have them, perhaps give your friend the 50K and then stay with some. So how do you go on a journey of self-discovery? Number one, give yourself time. Give yourself time away from other people. Okay? Away from other people, because when you're around other people, you will get lost. Everything you say will get lost in translation. People will say, oh, can we do this? You may be agreeable, you may be amiable, because you can't stand firm and say, oh, I actually don't like that. But when you take time with yourself, you get to know, number one, what your non-negotiables are, what you will not indulge in, what you will not do to preserve self or peace or whatever you need. Yeah, there's something that you posted and said, oh, take what you need. Is it love? Is it comfort? Yes. Is it hope? Is it rest? Take what you need. So self-discovery equals time. Give yourself time. In this time, you'll notice there are things that you do consistently. Yeah. There are things that you actually enjoy doing all the time. Then there are things that it's a hassle to do. Now, there you're trying to understand yourself. Yeah. If you find that probably you like watching sunsets, you can be in the house the whole day, but then get out. That is something. It speaks into the person that you are. You like probably evening, and why do you like the sunset? Does it give you a sense of relief? Is it that the day has ended? Is it peace? What does it represent for you? So self-discovery equals time. Take time away from everyone else, everything else, and then study yourself. Yeah.
Okay. It can be overwhelming in trying to discover yourself.
Again, that's why I say take time.
Yeah.
Take time, because you will not discover yourself at a go. No. And there are seasons for everything. Today, you may discover that you actually like movies. Then another time, another season, you'll discover that you like hiking, and then you'll abandon the movies. But all that is you're building on the character that you are, yourself, your interests, your passions, and then also allow yourself not to be static in the person you've become. Allow yourself to continue becoming. Allow yourself to, today you like this. There will be those core things that you like, but allow yourself to adventure and experience and expose yourself to other things. Time.
So what I take from this is knowing yourself or having a good relationship with yourself allows for also good relationships with others, because you know who you are, you know how you can relate with other people.
You see, the thing about relationship with yourself, it sets a tone of how other people will treat you. For instance, if you know I like chai, I like tea, however I don't like black tea, you know that about me. So if I come to visit, honestly, you'll make milk tea. So relationship with yourself, people will see you in action with how you treat yourself. Yeah? And then they will treat you exactly like that, because they have seen by herself this is what she does. Of course, if we are hosting her, if we are inviting her, this is what we should ideally. It sets the tone for other. But then also when you have a good relationship with yourself, you're confident in the person that you are. The other person will not come and try to change you. They'll appreciate what they already found and then build on it, not break it, not change it, not... Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Grace. As always, I hope this was an eye-opener on taking care of your relationships with yourself. We look forward to seeing you again on yet another episode of the Lake House Wellness in a Pandemic series. Thank you.